Good afternoon, distinguished guests, everyone. Welcome to Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI now in Thailand, 2024. My name is Supaat Sirikantalama. I'm an associate professor at the Faculty of Science, Chulalongkorn University, and a KYUDAI alumni.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Saho Yamauchi. I am in the General Affairs Division at Faculty of Medicine, Kyushu University.
Sorry. Yeah. So thank you for coming today in this busy weekday afternoon. There are two sections for today's program, KYUDAI now, from 1:30 to 5 p.m., which is a symposium. Will serve as an opportunity to showcase and discuss ongoing research and activities at Kyushu University at present. And after that, from 5:30 to 7:30, we will have a dinner reception for building interdisciplinary connections and strengthen our ties between Kyushu University and our friends in Thailand.
Now, as the first part of opening session, I would like to ask Professor Tatsuro Ishibashi, the President of Kyushu University, to deliver welcome remarks to all the participants today. Please, Professor Ishibashi, please.
Sawadee. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tatsuro Ishibashi, President of Kyushu University. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to say a few words for kickoff of KYUDAI now in Thailand today. I sincerely appreciate your taking time out of busy schedule to attend this event in person, to participate online from Thailand and abroad, especially thanking Dr. Chad Governor of Bangkok, and Mr. Tatsushi Nishioka, Embassy of Japan in Thailand. KYUDAI now aims to strengthen the network within our alumni who play on the global stage and to promote interdisciplinary joint research and educational collaboration between our university, government, industry, and local communities, as well as universities abroad. I'm so glad to be able to hold this meeting here in Thailand with our alumni and all the participants together. Today, through the presentation of our research results, we would like to think together how to solve social issues seen in the Asia-Oceania region in light of the SDG 17 goals, and how to prevent social problems predicted to arise in the future. In closing, I'd like to express my best wishes to all KYUDAI now participants for the meaningful event and for the further development of international exchange and collaboration. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Professor Ishibashi. Today it is a distinct honor to welcome two esteemed guests who have graciously accepted our invitation despite their demanding schedules. So allow me to introduce our first guest, Dr. Chad Sittipan, the esteemed Governor of Bangkok, who will share his opening remarks to KYUDAI now in Thailand 2024.
Good afternoon, Professor Tatsuro Ishibashi, President of the Kyushu University, and Tatsushi Nishioka from the Embassy of Japan, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the BMA, it's a pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to the Kyushu University Forum KYUDAI Now in Thailand 2024. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Kyushu University for this gracious invitation and to each of you for joining us today in the celebration of knowledge, collaboration, and friendship. In fact, Fukuoka and Bangkok have very close relationship in sister cities. Last of that, I have a privilege of visiting Fukuoka, very beautiful prefecture, and the proud home of the Kyushu University. It was a experience that truly opened my eyes to the profound connections that bind our two cities together. Today here in Bangkok, we continue to nurture and strengthen these bonds of friendship and cooperation that were initially forged when Fukuoka Prefecture and Bangkok established a friendship city relation in 2006. We delve into the sessions ahead exploring the topic. When I read the topic, quite interesting. It's ranging from meeting human needs in today's world to finding the new species of beetles in bird nests. So it covers the wide range, the knowledge that the university has. So let us remember that the heart of this discussion lies in the potential to make a real difference, to make the city, to make the life of the people better. So it's not only just academic pursuits. It's a pathway to solution, avenue to empowerment, and key to unlocking more sustainable and inclusive future for both cities. So let us embark on this journey together with open minds and eager hearts. May these discussions be thought-provoking, ideas revolutionary, and connection forged today pave the way for brighter and more interconnected future for all. Thank you very much.
For your warm greetings. Now it is great honor that invite Mr. Tatsushi Nishioka, Child Affairs at Intern at Embassy of Japan in Thailand, to deliver opening remarks for KYUDAI Now in Thailand 2024.
Professor Tatsuro Ishibashi, President of Kyushu University, Dr. Kachat Siktiput, Governor of Bangkok, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to extend the congratulations on the opening of this event. Thank you very much for the invitation. KYUDAI, renowned as one of Japan's premier academic institutions, ardently fosters collaborative endeavors in education and research within Thailand. Among Japanese universities, KYUDAI stands out as a beacon of active engagement, evidenced by its fruitful partnerships with esteemed Thai institutions such as Chulalongkorn University, Thammasat University, and Mahidol University. One of the KYUDAI's distinctive initiatives is particularly notable, which is the Young Leaders Program Law Course, which has welcomed numerous judges, prosecutors, and legal professionals from Thailand. These individuals are now actively contributing to Thailand's legal landscape, represent a valuable bridge between our two nations. I extend my sincere gratitude to KYUDAI for its invaluable contributions. Fukuoka Prefecture, home to KYUDAI, shares a special bond with Thailand, underscored by the presence of the Consulate General of the Kingdom of Thailand in Fukuoka. Moreover, the sister city relationship between Fukuoka Prefecture and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, coupled with daily direct flights connecting two cities, further enhancing bilateral ties. Notably, KYUDAI's international cooperation initiatives are playing a significant role in further bolstering not only city-to-city relations, but also the ties between two countries. In closing, I express my heartfelt wishes for the success of today's proceedings and my honest hope that this occasion will serve as a catalyst for deepening the cooperation between Japan and Thailand. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nishioka. So next, we would like to move to the next part. So today, Professor Akira Harapa, the Senior Vice President of Kyushu University, plan to give an introduction of Kyushu University and the Institute for Asian and Oceanic Studies. But unfortunately, he couldn't come to Thailand because of a sudden fever on the morning of the departure day. So today we have Professor Shuji Shimizu, the Vice President, will give the presentation and introduce Kyushu University and the Institute for Asian and Oceanic Study. Professor Shimizu, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, and hello everybody. I'd like to briefly introduce our university for you. So probably many of you may know that where the Fukuoka is, but the Kyushu Island, Fukuoka is in Kyushu Island, which is one of the 4 major islands in Japan, locating in the west end, closest to other part of Asia. And the population is 1.5 million. And the biggest picture here is the big park name is Ohori Park. Surrounded by the high buildings and hotels and companies and something like that. And also you can see the sea coast at the top of the picture. And we have lots of attractions, including foods and beauties and festivals and so on. So probably the most famous one is ramen at the top left. But also you can enjoy the good sushi with the fresh fish. And so the Fukuoka is what we can call the compact city. You can enjoy the advanced technology as well as the nature just in a close distance. And this is a new campus located in the west part of the Fukuoka city. And we completed the relocation 6 years ago as a commemoration of our 100th anniversary as an establishment. And our campus is the biggest campus in Japan, as you can see here. And you can also see the sea coast at the north again. And we have a very big campus here, surrounded by the mountains and trees. And besides that, we have a hospital campus with the Faculty of Medicine and the Pharmacology and the Dental. And also we have Ohashi campus, which consists of the Faculty of Design. And also we have Chikushi campus, which has interdisciplinary graduate school for the engineering sciences. All these 3 are located in the center of the city. And this shows some numbers for you to know the Kyushu University more. We have foreign students from a variety of countries around the world, and the total number of the students is 18,000. And among them, the foreign students count for the 2,300, which is 13% of the whole students. And in the center, you can see the research funding. So the Kyushu University have earned a lot of the funding, from the variety of research sources. And the faculty number is over 2,000. And so the ratio between the faculty and the students is 9 to 1, which is a good number for the education. And then our university is ranked at the 6th in the Japan University Ranking 2023. And the Q-AOS, it's 135th in the world. And as you can see here, that we have 12 undergraduate schools, including the law, education, science. You can see many faculties here, and you can see the colorful campus, here. This is the northern part of our whole campus. And we have 18 graduate schools, and the letters are a bit too small, but we have all variety of graduate schools as well. And under the leadership of the President Ishibashi, we have set up a 10-year vision with the slogan of the driving social change with integrative knowledge. That means not only the engineering part, but also the liberal arts and human sciences. We'd like to be united to make the changes to the society. And to make it happen, we have two means here, as written here. So first is tackle social issues with the cutting-edge research. And we have set up 3 entry points, our strengths here. One is decarbonization, and second is medicine and health, and environmental food are our strong part. And we also drive the social change with the digital transformation in education, research, and healthcare. And here are just several examples of a world-level research showing the International Institute for the Carbon Neutral Energy Research, that is called ISNA. And also we have a next general fuel cell research center, which is focusing on the hydrogen energy. And then we have a center for the organic photonics and electronics research, and the Research Institute of Applied Mechanics as well. And regarding the international collaboration, our goal is to boost global talent circulation with the initiatives of the advanced global learning with the joint and double degrees, and research and leadership with the fund matching, and build a global environment with the global alumni, and strengthen international partnership with the partner universities. And this shows the number of the Thai students in Kyushu University. So the top half shows the countries where the students come from, and over the half of the foreign students are from China, followed by South Korea, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Taiwan. And Thailand ranked 6th here with the 51 students, accounting 2.2% of the whole foreign students. And at the bottom, the little bit busy schedule, busy slides, but engineering is the most popular, followed by the law there. And this shows the partner universities, and we have university level MOU with the 3 universities written here: Chulalongkorn, Mahiton, and Thammasat. And also we have 9 other universities with the faculty level or MOU, written here, like Chiang Kasetat, and King Mok University of Technology, and so on. Okay, so from now, I'd like to talk a little bit about our institution for Asian and Oceanian Studies, which hosts the KYUDAI Forum today. And this institution was established 5 years ago directly under the president. So the director of our institution is the President Ishibashi. And our mission and vision, we have 3 of them. First is the interdisciplinary action, beyond the wall of the different faculties, and on-site and on-demand activities to overcome the local and global problems, and the aiming for the future SDGs, of course, with the current SDGs as well. And this picture shows the first KYUDAI Now during Bangkok. And it was just 1 year ago. And you see we have about 100 people all at the venue, and we really had a very fantastic time, together with the participants. And the next day we visited Chulalongkorn University, Mahimah University, and Thammasat, Kasetat, and so on. And the original aim of this KYUDAI now is to strengthen the human network with alumni people. And the average percentage of the participant alumni is about half of the all participants, and the rest of the rest half is the alumni friends or staff of the other universities and companies and the local government. So we not only the strengthening the network with the alumni, we'd like to expand our human network to the surrounding people. And now we have this activity in other countries, as shown here: Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Bangladesh, where we have more alumni people than others. And we are planning to expand more into the Asia and beyond. Okay, at the end, but not the least, we have just created the university fund for overseas alumni or other people who have interest. So there is a homepage, uploaded, and if you would like to contribute to this kind of activity or youngsters in Kyushu University, please take a look and push the button here. Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you very much and enjoy the program.
Thank you so much to everybody. Next, we will have the group session, but before the group photo, Professor Ishibashi has some gifts from Kyushu University to our two honored guests, so Dr. Chitta and Professor Ishibashi. Could you please walk up to the stage?
Thank you. Very nice.
Oh,
Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Nishioka. Could you please walk up to the stage?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Could you please remember Mr. Nishioka and also Dr. Chacha? I'd like to thanks to coming to this opening session of KYUDAI Now Thailand 2024. So now it's like to take a group photo with all participants. So please, everybody in this room, could you please join us at the stage?
So maybe some people can stand in this stage.
Very nice. University.
thank you very much.
Who can back?
Yes.
Just a drive or does it help?
Everybody, please stand up on the.
Maybe it's so 8 people and the first line, please. So the other people can just stand behind, please.
Yep.
Sorry, one by one. One by one. So maybe the lady first, please say the lady first. To the lady first. Okay, and the boy. Let me check. Let me check first.
I guess you have the audio for the website, right?
Maybe once again, okay.
Right.
I maybe no from.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you get in the path? So you go in the morning or? Yes. Oh, yeah, I go every day. Oh, very good.
Yes, sir.
레이저 포인트. この方で公開して、いいんです。全然私も。あ、
So let's wait for time before we start our next question.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Let me start the first session of the research symposium. So this session was entitled Society and Technology. We have 4 professors from Kyushu University that's going to introduce their research activities related to society and technology. So I'm glad to introduce Professor Miyuki Inaba to give the first presentation entitled Meeting Human Needs in Today's World, Empowerment-Oriented Community Development. So let me briefly introduce Professor Inaba. So Dr. Miyuki Inaba is a professor at the International Issues at Faculty of Arts and Science, School of Interdisciplinary Science and Innovation, and Graduate School of Integrated Science for Global Society. She's a recipient 2011 Teaching Excellence Award at Kyushu University, Colorado Graduate Studies Scholarship, and Fulbright Graduate Studies Scholarship. So prior to joining the academics, Professor Inaba had worked at the UNESCO, another UN organization, and a human resource management company in Japan. She's currently served as the international editorial consultant for the International Journal of Community and Social Development. Research interests include sustainable development, society, solidarity, economy, international social welfare, social development, community building, aging, and empowerment-oriented social work practice. So, Professor Inaba, the floor is yours.
Okay. Sawadee-ka. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for a very nice introduction about me. And I would like to, first of all, thank all the organizers providing us this opportunity to speak our own research area. And I'm very honored to be here, to be a part of this Kyushu now in Bangkok, Thailand. So thank you very much for being here today to the audience. So this is my topic outline. I try to be in time. Oops, I already forgot to start the timing. Oops. Sorry. Okay, brief introduction. A little bit of myself. Quality of life in Japan. Is Japan a happy place or country? Population aging and also declining population is one of the very big issues right now faced in Japan. And also long-term care insurance policy has launched in 2001, but after almost 4 or 5 years, we have faced a lot of still issues with that. Although we are having a national policy, still helps family, but some community development examples. I have 3 things to show you about 2, but maybe depending on the time, I have to cut it to 1. And then lesson, you can maybe learn from Japan's experience, and also maybe we can exchange. And I would like to stress how international exchange of ideas and also research collaboration is very important, I believe. And the recent publication, and then I would conclude with the yesterday's field visit to Thai community, organized by my colleague, Professor Jitti at the School of Global Studies, Tamata University. So this is just already educational background of experience. I have a kind of already, not only, I have one not only one discipline. My undergraduate degree is policy and the master in public policy. And between my master, I did work for the private Japanese company. And then I joined United Nations, waited 1 year, and I joined United Nations Economic and Social Council in right here, Bangkok. So I feel very happy to be back here. And I also worked for the Institute of Gerontology because I also studied gerontology during my doctoral study because aging, I knew aging was coming as a big international issue for not only Japan, but maybe some of the developing countries. Actually, aging is faster happening in developing countries. So this is my, as you can see, I was very excited with the ambassador and other UN staff. And he was the first one, Japanese professionals with wheelchair. So he imported the car. And this was the last time I was right here in Bangkok, 10 years back already. So I was looking for the division included environment. So you remember it was a long time ago, 1992, there was the Earth Summit in Brazil, Rio. And my division was preparing for the report of the status of environment in Asia and the Pacific. Research areas, you can just kind of skim through it. Most of my research field up to maybe some point, developing countries, less economically developed countries. Been to quite a few countries, maybe 30, 40 countries, urban and also rural areas for the poverty alleviation project, and also maybe some research. I also was part of the developing training curriculum for community level workers. And right now, right now I'm also interested in, I am interested in at all different kind of projects at the grassroots, but I am also interested at the macro level kind of policy level research. Research. So right now I'm interested in social and solidarity economy movement that is totally opposite of capitalist economy. Because I believe that's a part of the reason we have the people left behind. So that's the research topic that I just got funded by JNPS. And the keywords, you can kind of look through it. And this is, I think it's easier to see where I do my research so far. This was the one, Kazakhstan. I went to see the Aral Sea because Aral Sea was shrinking, and so the fishermen lost job because of that the shipyard. So many things. This is a shipyard. They were able to make a living by shipping, but because of the shrinking of the Aral Sea, they can't. They have to look for alternative livelihood income. And went to Philippines and also Kenya, and also because we are working on a community development project in Kenyan government, Sri Lanka, and this is I think a good India and social work professors together with other education professors, they came up with the idea of school on wheels. We hear oftentimes meals on wheels to deliver the meal, but this is if your children cannot go to school, so wheels bus will go to children to teach, and this is a very difficult group of children because their parents never worked. So we are trying to teach them to social workers and teachers trying to at least teach them the read, write, and maybe the basic literacy training. So this is, on the other hand, developed countries. When you you go to the US, you see a lot of single mom having a poverty issues, the welfare mom in poverty, and also homeless women getting a training and get back to some work. And I was in Colorado, so I was able to go to visit some of the Native American reservation because they are really the forest of the group in the US. And then again, if we look at the invisible child poverty in Japan, surprisingly, we have a 16% of child poverty, and it is a big issue, and it is pretty much invisible most of the time. So is Japan happy? If you look at the quality of life and deprivation in Japan, I am very concerned some of the ranking of Japan. And it's not so high in terms of happiness. Life satisfaction is 30th ranking, and Human Development Index by UNDP is 19th. Used to be pretty much within top, within 5, but now it's been kind of dropping the ranking. And I'm very concerned with this. 11%, but more now, say that they have no friends or family to turn to in terms of need. And another thing I'm very concerned with, in terms of basic human needs, 70% of poor households spend more than 40% of their income for housing. So I think because of part of it is Fukuoka, what is happening in downtown Fukuoka is also gentrification is definitely taking place. All the buildings are turned down. Now you see a lot of new buildings, but those tenants in old building, where do they go? Are they going to afford the new building to be a new building? I don't think so. I don't think the rent will be really rapidly raised and they'll be pushed out. So emergency social issues. Japan, already. So please let me know. I don't think that my it's really working. This is some of the social issues, emerging issues: suicide, depression, lifetime unmarried rate, crime of child abuse and domestic abuse, lonely deaths, population aging, population declining, poverty rate is 16%, need young people not in work, education or training. So that's our current situation of Japan. And some issues particularly in super aging societies. I am very concerned. 16,000 people with dementia missing, and some of them are not found. And some of them are returned back home, but some of them found kind of in different prefectures or so. And more than 73,000 people quitting their job to take care of their parents or nurse their parents. So many people are quitting. Most of the people who are quitting to take care of the parents are women. So that means later on in their life, all the women in poverty, maybe that chance increases. And 80-50 problem, we call it. It's children in their 50s whose only means of support are parents in their 80s. So they live on parents' kind of pension. And 2025 problem, that's baby boomers who were born between this year will be all turning 75 and older. And that's just the population idea. I think one of the big changes, household types in Japan has been drastically changing. It's right here, right here. Right here, number one person household has been increasing, and also household of couples only has been increasing, particularly elder 65 and older. So what happens is elder taking care of elder. So that's what's happening in Japan. So what the government do? Okay, to take care of the parents, let's shift the responsibility from the family to the society. That was a big reason we started to launch long-term care insurance policy in 2000. However, what's happening right now is so many revisions to this social policy because of the users doubled. So many people started to use, the budget is going up high. So as you can see, this is how it is. So sustainability is a question. Now, in order to get the care, maybe the eligibility is more rigid, and you can get a less service. So that means what to take care of is maybe family members or informal sector, informal network. So that's a person with dementia. So already 2012, WHO has put up the publication dementia, a public health priority, because it doesn't only affect the dementia elderly, but the family, working families are being very much affected. So warning the government to be prepared. So this is again, people quitting the job to take care of elder parents. So nowadays, the government is saying that aim to realize inclusive society. Their problem, no, it's big. That problem is yours to take care of the issues within the community and identify the needs of the needs by the community members themselves well, I'm just going to skip, and also government is now stressing mutual help, self-care, connectedness, neighborhood networks, and comprehensiveness in care service. However, I wonder, is it a cost containment strategy or not? And all the responsibility is maybe given to local government, community, and families. That's kind of the way it's been going. So if we are to fill up the gap of the formal service and also the needs, informal network becomes very crucial. And so this is the paradigm change of helping. Used to be a traditional model, but I am very much interested in empowerment-oriented model. It is a strength-based model, not a deficit. So try to find the strength in the person and the community to try to reconnect people to help each other. You can this I will skip again empowerment strength model. People are not active. People knows what they need, and people are not. People do have. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to how many? 2 minutes. Okay, sorry. Oh, I think the texture. So some of the community I just want to show is this is a key person is an environment-oriented community social worker. We have another group of people that hikikomori, a person who has drawn from the society for various reasons. So they are matching the hikikomori with the elder living alone to take care, help each other so they can be connected, and also all sorts of cafes taking place in the community to meet. And creating caring communities. I'm just going to go through really quick. The community education has become very important. And this is, I like to stress, in Japan, people do not ask for help until things get really bad. So it's very difficult because it's shameful to ask for help. So these communities, they are trying to have people to just speak up. It's okay to ask for help. So let's say from Japan's experience, mutual help, deals with social issues. However, to me, once community ties becomes weak and or broken, kind of, it is extremely difficult to rebuild. We are putting so much effort into reconnecting or making informal network within the community because formal services cannot meet all the needs. So here you need an innovation, different way of doing things. And this is a recent publication that I will just end up and with my presentation with this and one more slide. And this is the handbook I wrote about Japan's effort to meet the SDGs, existing and potential roles for social workers, development workers, and so on. If you are interested in it, you can look at it. And also my doctoral student, Ms. Yuki Osaka, and she's sitting down there. She has a poster. Her poster is also deals with very important issue. Are we reaching all children? Early childhood education for children with foreign origin in Japan. Okay, this is the last one. Thank you very much for your time and attention. This was yesterday's field visit to the site. And we learned a lot from this community project. So we can take back some of the ideas and then see how we can apply to some of the situation back in Japan. So that really reminds me again, international exchange is very, very important. Thank you very much. Kokumaka.
Thank you very much, Professor Inaba, for your great presentation. So maybe I'd like to take one question from the floor. Is there anyone on the floor have a question? Maybe can I have a quick question? So as a person, so how and concerned with this the problem that you just mentioned, how can we like help or we can participate or just improve the problem that's raised by your research as a person in a society? As a person in the society, and we are concerned about this problem. So how we can help or participate in solving or making this situation become better?
I think just to be aware that the people around you may be having some poverty issues or some other issues. So be aware and to know and to learn about it. So that would be the first step. So that's why the government is saying it's not their problem, it could be yours. Because in this society of high risk, we could be falling into the poverty, we could be injured, many things can happen and really affect your life. So you do like me and us kind of attitude I think would help as a first step.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Maybe another question from the floor.
My name is Sawakon. I'm Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities at Kyushu University. Your presentation is very interesting, and you show the pictures of different communities and also the issues related to the broader one in the country. I'm wondering if, from your experiences, when there is a community with a lot of elderly or a city with a lot of elderly, when we want to form something, providing care, providing connectedness, build networks, what would be the good first step to do this kind, to organize this kind of thing so that people help each other? Because self-help and the needs they express are important. But from different communities, there may be different backgrounds. So what would be some lessons that anybody who would like to do this, what would be the first step that they should try to be more successful? Thank you.
Thank you very much. A very good question and very difficult to answer. Government say also self-help, connectedness and all that, but no financial assistance. no human resources. So it's all left to the local government and community, right? So there have to be some kind of a key person or key organization to take an initiative. Like many places I've seen is cafe, dementia cafe, children's cafe, or we say ibasho, place to be. And also we have a lot of empty, vacant, unoccupied homes that now is increasing in Japan. Maybe you can imagine, because of the decrease in population, the children wouldn't return back, parents died, nobody take care of. So many of the NPO are trying to renovate those places as a gathering place of intergenerational gathering. It's good to have a self-help of some kind, but I think it's very important to have intergenerational activities. That would be very good for the children, youth, and elderly. So, but again, it has to be to me, it seems like there has to be some key person or key agency or organization to start. So, but everybody is learning each other how to kind of start. So all those creative projects are kind of popping up throughout Japan. Yes, so I don't know if that's the answer to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So let's move to the second talk. I would like to introduce Associate Professor Shen Kun for the giving a presentation entitled Psychological and Behavioral Studies on Food Literacy. So, Dr. Shen is currently an Associate Professor and Research Futures Coordinator at the Kyushu University Institute of Asian New Zealand Studies. He was born in Shandong province of China, received his bachelor's degree from Qingdao University and went to Japan for postgraduate studies. Received his PhD in psychology from Kyushu University in 2012. He worked as a consultant at Beam Consulting Limited as an assistant professor at Kyushu University, a lecturer at Fukuoka University, and arrived at his present position in April of 2022. His academic background is in cognitive, experimental, and cultural psychology, starting from basic psychological research on visual perception. Is now focusing on the psychology and behavior-related several topics of SDGs, such as food issues, the COVID-19 pandemic, and cultural diversity. Today, his presentation is about one of his research topics, the psychological and behavioral studies on food. So please, Professor Shen.
Thank you very much for introduction, and thank you very much for coming today. Actually, this is my first presentation in KYUDAI now. So mostly in KYUDAI now, it will be the like worker or stuff. But this time, because Shimi Sensei can introduce our university, so this time I will give a presentation about my research on food psychological and behavioral studies on food literacy. So my how to say introduction is like this, and Supat, Dr. Supat and introduced me. Mainly my background is about psychology, but I start from visual perception or visual illusion. Now I'm doing studies about SDGs. So what is food literacy? So if you hear about this word, maybe you will feel puzzled that we hear a lot of literacy, like IT literacy, right? That means to use smartphones or use tablet or programming. So we have to learn. Maybe when you are in primary school or in in junior middle school, you will take this kind of course to learn how to program or how to use a computer. And we have a word literacy. You still have to learn learn language from like when you are 3 years old. But for food, maybe after you're born, you can eat something, right? So people think that, oh, food literacy is a little bit strange because food is kind of to eating something for humankind is some kind of human nature. So no need to learn. But actually, when we consider food, for example, how do you perceive about food? For example, if the first time you come to Thailand or first time you go to some country, you will find some strange food you have never seen before, you have never tried before. So how do you say, how do you consider about that? So how much do you know about that? And what's your attitude? So that means, for me, I'd like to try a lot of food. So even if it's a new food, for me, I will try first. Maybe I will die, but I will try first. But for some people, the first attitude is to avoid. So you will get very cautious about the new food. And that is the behavior. How do you behave about food? So this kind of several keywords about food literacy was my research topic. Actually, food issues is also like a global crisis. There's a lot of like news or papers about this topic. Said that for the whole population over the world, the food is something like lack, it's not enough, or it's not fair, it's not balanced. But how to solve this problem? We only have two ways to solve this problem. One way is to create more possibilities, food resources. And another way is to save and effectively use existing food resources. So frankly speaking, one way is to accept new food. And another way is do not waste food, right? Only these two approaches. So the question is that, can you accept new protein resources? That means, for example, insect food. I think this food is very popular in some Asian countries, including Thailand and Laos and my hometown in China. And also some region in Japan, some inner like mountain area in Japan is still very popular. But for most of the people, most of the population, when they see this kind of picture, they feel, oh, this is not food. This sounds like awful or something like that. So my first research is about the psychology of eating insect, perception, resistance, and acceptance. So firstly, I would like to introduce one research. Okay, so as most of you know that the eating insect is like a very hot topic now because it was enlightened that so entomophagy, referring to eating insect or edible insect, was a very ideal or very important alternative protein source to address the future potential food crisis. But do you accept this alternative protein? So actually, we did this kind of comparative research. Okay, it's a little bit. Screen booked. Okay. So I'm doing this research in several countries. Okay. For example, in Laos, in Thailand, and in China and Japan, and in Europe, I sampled in Finland and Germany. In each country, almost 100 samples, or almost all of the country. Only Finland, because I can only travel to Helsinki and Turku, so it's a little bit limited. But for the other countries, I traveled a lot to take the questionnaire in fieldwork. So actually, if you go to fieldwork, maybe interview will be better than questionnaire, because a lot of you maybe know that if you go to the rural place, like in Thailand or in Laos, the local people cannot understand the standard like Thai language or the standard language or even English. So it's very difficult to communicate. So we collaborated with the local professors in Laos. And also, this one maybe, okay, like this, and this is in Finland. Finland, because you can speak English, so it's very easy to take this questionnaire. And this is in Germany, also very easy to take the questionnaire. And in Thailand, this is, I think, in Surin prefecture, Isang area. So the result is like, well, from the operating side, I think this will be a problem. So this is one of the results. So do you eat insect food frequently? The Laos people, almost 20% people, eat this kind of food frequently. But the second question is, have you ever eaten insect food ever before? So in that case, also Laos, like 80% has eaten that. But you can see Japan, so it's very low, only 20% in the population has eaten insect food. And next one is about acceptance. So would you like to eat? So you can see China and Japan is the lowest part, and Laos is just in the middle. What amazed me is that Germany and Finland, actually the Western or European people, they're very open to this kind of alternative proteins. But why Japan and China have this low rate? So actually, we know the edible or eating insect have many benefits. But will people accept eating insect just because it has a lot of benefits? For example, a lot of companies in Japan, they produce a lot of different products about food insect. There are very innovative one and very traditional one and very popular one. A lot of ways they are doing this kind of effort. And if I persuade that guy to eat some insect, I will give them a lot of reasons, right? So if you want to persuade some guy, you will give a lot of reasons, because insect food is like healthy, it's good for environment, it's very sustainable. We have plenty of this reason. And also these reasons are used by the slogans or promotions of the companies. But what important is that the people just say, I don't like. So people will resist not logically, but emotionally. So one possible reason is the behavioral immune system. That is a psychological mechanism that people detect the potential existence of pathogenic parasites. That means people don't want to touch with dirty things, avoid this kind of contact. So maybe people don't like eat insect because their BIS is activated. So we did a large-scale study, almost 2,000 people, to let them just evaluate the relationship between two pictures. So this is like normal food, and that is pathogen. So we prepared 12 pictures. Like this category is non-insect food, in the middle is insect food, and this lane is some types of pathogens. We just let people to rate the relationship between the pairs. And that is the result. The result is interesting that people perceive insect food more like pathogens than food. So people think that the relationship between insect food and pathogens are stronger than the other pairs. So this is maybe one reason that when people say insect food, they will say, oh, this is not clean things, and this is about like insect or bugs. So this is maybe one possibility. So the second topic is about wasting food, food waste. Actually, in Japan, if you ask people, do you waste food normally or ordinary? Most answers will be no. Because if you eat with Japanese people, you will know that the Japanese people has very good habit of food. So they will eat everything in their bowl, everything in their plate, because they were educated like that. Because my kid now is in a Japanese kindergarten, 5 years old. Each meal, they will taught by the teachers, please eat everything. Don't waste food, because food is precious, very important. So most Japanese people think, okay, the food waste, yes, it's a big question, but it's not related to me. But the fact is like this. Actually, in Japan, a lot of food they are wasted. Like 6 million tons per year. So my second study is about food waste behavior in the pandemic. In the pandemic, you know, I think it happened in almost all the countries. People just get panicked to storage food, to buy a lot of food than they really need. I also did this large-scale research in all like prefectures in Japan and collected like 2,000 samples. And actually, we do a serious factor analysis, and we compared the high-impact region. That means the big cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Fukuoka, these big cities, and the other cities like the rural places. Is there any difference in the situation of food waste? And we find that in the city region like Tokyo and Osaka, people has more serious food waste, and they will take more time to prepare their food. But in the rural places here, people will buy a lot of food than they really need. Like this is excessive food purchase. So this is like a really different like trend or tendency between different places. And after that research, we did another research to interpret. So this is food waste behavior. So what kind of factors are related to this food behavior? So maybe you can say this is a result and this is a reason. And we found that one is a cooking ability and preference. So this factor actually influence a lot of factors like cooking behavior, shopping behavior, and communal eating with others. So actually, if you cook by yourself, things will change a lot. If you cook by yourself, that means you will face more options when you buy the materials, and you will know that okay, today in my family or in my house, I've wasted this kind of food because there's a lot of leftovers. So the third study I want to introduce is on cooking behavior. Actually, this is our campus. Why I use this picture is because that it's really big campus and really beautiful campus. It's almost 100%. But the only demerit for this campus is that it's too far away from downtown. It's like 20 kilometers from downtown. So a lot of students, they have no options to eat. So they can only use a very limited like a cafeteria or restaurant. So my colleague, Professor Michikazu Hiramatsu, he started this Jisuiju self-cooking seminar 10 years ago in Kyushu University. So the purpose is to teach the freshman or the first-year student to cook. Because almost of the students, they spend their life at their home, from the beginning to the graduation of the high school. So they have never cooked as their like mothers, as their family. So this professor found this, actually, when this student come to Kyushu University, they cannot survive. They cannot cook by themselves. They cannot buy food materials. So I also joined this lecture because I can cook Chinese food. So I teach this student to cook Chinese food, and also Professor Hiramasu Sensei and me, we found another thing is that people cook more in COVID-19 pandemic. I think because a lot of people get quarantined or isolated in this season, so maybe most of you get this kind of experience that you cook more in this the last 3 years. Okay, so why do we cook? Actually, we did another research about 20 samples. We found 3 key reasons to provide motivation to people to cook. The first reason is that people cook just because they're interested in cooking. The second one is they feel guilty, like because they are mothers. If they don't cook, their family cannot be fed. And the third one is they expect some relationship with others because they feel happy when their food they cooked were eaten by the others, by their friends or by the family. So this research actually, so this is a little complicated, but let me explain that the 3 factors over there And there are a lot of psychological contributions to let people feel well-being or feel satisfied, feel happy, feel self-efficacy. So if we only cook by interest or cook by duty, actually you don't feel very, happy like this. But if other people can eat your food and they will feel very happy, give smiles to you, actually contribute to all these kind of psychology factors. So people would like to cook with expectation of enjoying with others. So, all right, and we are doing other research. I will skip this, and thank you very much. And I'm call for collaboration of food research based on that. Thank you.
Do you have any question?
Thank you very much for your great presentation. So regarding for the insect eating, so I'm Thai, so I try some of the insect. So, but the thing is, once you show some of the result, I'm surprised that why in Asian country, especially China and Japan, they're not trying, not open their mind to eat that. So I wonder, maybe, I'm not sure whether it's because of the group of the people that you take a questionnaire or what kind of reason that make this kind of result.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting phenomenon. And I think this, if in Japanese, in one word, we call this Chutohampa. So the Chutohampa country, that means not like Laos or Thailand. The Laos or Thailand, even a lot of people don't eat insect food. But if you go to the market, you can see this kind of food. So in most of people's perception, this kind of insect, like grasshoppers, is a kind of food. And for the European countries, they are like 100% innovative food. So there's no minus image before. So this is really brand new things. So we keep this very safe, keep this very clean. So please try. And in this case, it's also not so hard to accept. The most difficult issue is that in one society, some people tried this, and there are some rumors about this. And there are some like a minus image. For example, in China and in Japan, the people eating insect because there's no other ways. In their very poor times, like in 100 ago, or just because they are inside the mountain, they are very difficult to access to the sea. So there's no ways to get other protein. So I have to eat insect because I have no other choice. So because of this kind of very minus image, people don't think this is a good thing, but think this is bad thing. Maybe this is one explanation.
Thank you, Professor Chen, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Next, Assistant Professor Haruka Nakano from the Research Institute for Applied Mechanics will give the third presentation. Dr. Nakano from Center for Ocean Plastic Studies specialized in physical oceanography and works in ocean monitoring. In 2016, she received her PhD. Her dissertation was on ocean turbulence, focusing on double diffusion. After her graduation, she was selected as a member of Japan Antarctic Expedition team. In 2018, she expanded her scope to ocean plastic pollution. In 2022, she joined Kyushu University as an assistant professor and moved to Thailand. The floor is yours, Dr. Nakano.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Nakano from Center for Ocean Plastic Studies. Today, I'd like to explain about our activities especially in Thailand, on behalf of the professors of Center for Ocean Plastic Studies. And first of all, I want to explain about our center. The Center for Ocean Plastic Studies was established in 2022, almost 2 years ago, and we are dedicating to promote the global partnership with the researchers from Southeast Asian countries, especially in Thailand.
And we believe, don't laugh me. Yeah, we believe we are very international institute of the university because only 2 professors are from Japan. And 1 professor is Mei Sensei there. She was in the reception first time. Yes. And she is from Thailand. And Belen Sensei is from Argentina. And our technician Big San is from Thailand. So we believe we are very international institute of the university. And another strong point of us is we are here. Thanks to the Toronto University, we have a rental office and we have some laboratories in Bangkok. So we based the Thailand and we promote our activities. And we have 5 goals or 5 activities relating to the plastic pollution. First one is plastic flow analysis. This means considering the balance of plastic production and plastic waste. But to consider the budget, we need the data, but we don't have much data, so we need to collect the data by the monitoring. But the abundance of plastic is just a number. We need to clarify the impact or importance of plastic pollution. So Belen Sensei and Mei Sensei work on a kind of risk assessment in the water. And these 3 are research-related activities, but plastic pollution is not only research, but also social and economic issues. So we need to contribute to scientific evidence action. Also, our activity, we believe, is high performance and high activity, but we know activity of us is not enough to solve our program. So we need a great partners. Toward these goals, we are dedicating to have capacity building to other researchers, especially in East Asian nations. So, and first, I want to introduce about our activities in Thailand. First one is collaborative research with Toronto University staff and researcher in Sichuan Island, where is the coral reef conservation area. And to determine the presence and characteristics and distribution of plastic pollution in this area, we conducted 3 surveys. And we collected surface water, sediment, and coral samples together with Toronto University staff. And this is my research result. And this bar graph shows the abundance of microplastic from the wet season to dry season. And based on this result, we can say the abundance of microplastic has clear tendency like the abundance in the wet season is larger than the abundance in dry season. And this is because 2 factors. First one is surface saturation. A southwest monsoon produce a clockwise circulation in the wet season, and it transports microplastic to the Sichuan Island. Another factor is the seasonality of the river, precipitation. And in Korea, the researchers said precipitation affects the abundance of microplastic in the river because the river, heavy rain, transport the plastic to the river. And based on these results, we want to propose a system to accelerate microplastic pollution in Thailand. The system is, in the dry season, strong UV light affect to the plastic on the land, and weathering and fragmentation happen there. And in the rain season, wet season, heavy rain transports the microplastic to the river, and river transports the plastic to the ocean. And besides these practices, a phenomenon, the leak and accumulation happens elsewhere and it continues. And based on the last research, 95% of plastic waste was lost in the land. And if such loss happens in the around the river, it means a microplastic pollution will be accelerated. And another one is the zooplankton research in the island. And you can see the beautiful world of the plankton here, but unluckily we found the plastic in their body. And this is the result. And in the average, we found 0.4 particles microplastic were eaten by the plankton. And the value was quite larger than other region. So it means we can't ignore the microplastic pollution in this area. And so far, I introduced about the pollution on the surface layer, but we collect the samples around the seafloor, and we found the small coral can eat the microplastic and stock the plastic in their body, and it works well compared to the large coral. So maybe the information contribute to how conserve the coral in this area. And besides this research in island, we also conduct the microplastic transportation research in the food chain, and we found that a crab is an effective transporter of microplastic towards the snapper, fish. And so far, I introduced almost done research, and from now, I want to introduce research activities in Garho, Thailand with CFDEC. CFDEC is one of the kind of governmental, but they are not government, referred to a kind of fisheries department, and named Southeast Asian Fisheries Development Center. So they are dedicating to have a promotion of the fisheries in East Asian countries. And thanks to them, we had a great survey in Garho, Thailand. And during the survey, we invite a lot of Thai researchers from Kyushu University, Prince of Songkran University, also the DMCR and Pollution Control Department from the government. And we will plan to have a similar survey next month. And these are the items we correct or we did or we will do during the survey. Interestingly, we collect the fish sample by the benthic throw together with seafloor marine litter as a fisherman. And this is a sample collected by the benthic throw. And you can see some characters on the food package, like Chinese, Thai, or Myanmar language. So maybe such food package came from such countries or people from such nations. Also, interestingly, we found sponges attached to the plastic bag. So maybe we should clarify how affect the marine litter to the seafloor environment. And this is a result of our activities so far. And from now, I want to introduce another activities, international activities in Thailand, not in Thailand, another countries. And first one is the APEC workshop. And May Sensei and I attended APEC workshop to contribute to have a mitigation plan of microplastic in agricultural field, and we contributed to have a white paper, and you can see the white paper through the website. Also, Belen Sensei is working on the global partnership on plastic pollution and marine litter. And this, we call it GPML. This is a kind of networking on data harmonization on plastic pollution. And we need our, how to say, the data management style or data collecting, uniform data collection method, something like that. And based on the discussion here, Ministry of Environment Japan decided to have the data center and the COPS. We manage the data of the data center. But the thing is, the data now we collected or other researcher collected has no standard and they don't use the same technique, so we can't compare, we can't clarify the quality of the data. So we are working also to have the international standard of microplastic pollution about the microplastic analysis, monitoring, or sample preparation. And besides these activities, we have another international activities like mangrove survey and beach cleanup event in Malaysia, also training course in Vietnam or lake and river surveys in Argentina, and have meeting with local government in Thailand. And this is the last slide of my presentation. And I don't read all of the sentence, but I want to say, we believe, the COPS believes, our activity is quite high performance, and we want to continue this high performance after, next fiscal year as well. But important point is we need a support from the Thai people, right? And otherwise we can't access the survey area, facilities, or other important information. Definitely we need a support of all of you in here. All right, that's all my presentation. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for the presentation. I think pollution by microplastics global problem.
Yes.
My question is, why did you choose Thailand to study this problem?
All right. The beginning of us is the JICA satellites, and so in 2015, one researcher said, "Oh, plastic waste from Eastern Asian country is quite huge. So we need to clarify the number in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Vietnam, or other countries around here." And after the publication, the government, a lot of government had a lot of discussion about this topic. And I guess that Thailand is more advanced country compared to other countries like waste management or education or research activities. So I'm not a director of this center, so I can't say, but I guess this is, based on the Thailand, and we should be a kind of the best practice of this pollution and international collaboration in East Asian countries, and we need to expand the activity, something like that. Do you have any comment about it?
Maybe Thailand is a good, maybe Thailand offer a good setting for a hub to work from here and in collaboration and for research in many Southeast Asian countries. We find a good hub.
Yeah.
And it's top 10 ranking for plastic pollution, Thailand as well. So yeah, it's a good setting for doing this kind of research. Yeah. Unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah. And maybe
Sawakon, thank you very much for your presentation and helping us realize the seriousness
yeah.
of the plastic, problem. And the ocean is a big reservoir, and you look into that. I would like to ask for advice about something. My question is about something more upstream. How do we prevent microplastic going to, how do we just reduce the waste, microplastic waste? Do you have any suggestion about the models, about, you mentioned something about best practice that we want to achieve? What are there any models, are there any experiences to learn anyway about how to reduce? Any successes and failures? I think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. We in our project, we have another collaborator who works in the waste management, and we discussed before. The first one is to categorize the garbage, like a plastic bottle or food waste or others. This is a basic, but the management of the waste is very related to the economic situation of the country. I mean, some people need some business to categorize the waste, right? So to promote the advanced plastic, waste management, we need to change the economic situation first. Otherwise, they don't want to start because they lost some of the people lost their job, right? So this is a very, tough question for everyone. Mrs. Do you have anything? She is Thai, so she is good at our ideas.
Thank you for the question. So I admit this is a very tough question. So every country is working on that. So, but recently, I will give an example in the case of in Thailand. If you go to dumping site, you can see lots of the PE plastic bag, which is you can reduce in your daily life. You know, I would say like from the ground is starting from yourself.
Right.
You know, if you might think it is convenient to carry the bags or something like that, but you can say you can keep the another bag, for some another stuff. But the thing is, as Nagano Sensei mentioned, it depends on the social structures of each country. So if we are promoting, in terms of upcycling, or put a lot more of the money, to invest of this kind of recycle, or even the investment of the innovative in terms of the plant-based plastic or something like that, it would be more helpful. It's not like a one size fits all, but yeah, I would say it could be start from ourselves.
Maybe I can add some comments. I think, one of the solutions is recycling, but it's kind of, as you know, 10% of plastic is being recycled. But from all the plastic being produced in the world is a very small proportion. So we also need like good policies to decide which kind of plastic we want to keep producing and implement better technologies to improve the plastic technology. So it's better to, we can continue recycling this plastic and close the gap, like not keep producing new plastic, but using the same. That would help as well.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I to share something. My background is system dynamics. And I think we need to create a system. We should block at the source instead of kind of having it into the plankton, the body of the plankton, and some other things that of the ocean creatures. But this is difficult to have this system. We are trying at my Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities. We also work on waste management. One project about Say, for example, in Kanchanaburi, where we look into the community, how community and industries try to reduce waste. And I also have another project supported by the Stock Exchange of Thailand, look into the companies, the listed companies, how to manage. The aiming at zero waste, but that's a very high aim. The thing is that I don't think this would be adequate or quick enough to prevent the disaster in the ocean. So I really have a big concern about it and would like to learn more what we can do together. In order to prevent it. I mean, it's very difficult to solve it when it's already going to. So if anybody would have advice from me, I would really be very happy to learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Nakano, for your wonderful presentation.
Oh, let's do.
My name is Sunshine. I'm from the Mechanical Engineering University. I'm curious because you already have one site that correct the data that is at Sishan. Right? There is no other site that you correct the data.
Yeah.
Okay. And because of that, do you know that surrounding that area on the eastern side is eastern seaboard, where you have a lot of factories. And then on the next to the western part, you have Bangkok and all other southern provinces, which I think, even though they may have some more pollution, but not as heavy as on the eastern side. So, based on your conclusion, have you considered that kind of situation that there are the site, the nearby area that perhaps are more polluted than the other?
Yes.
Have you considered correct data from somewhere to compare the results?
Yeah, thank you for your comment. The comment should be considered by us, of course. This is a very interesting point. And the thing is, every researcher in Thailand say, we have the data, we have the knowledge about microplastic. But honestly, they don't use the same technique. They don't use the same technique. So we still have uncertainty or a kind of doubt. We can compare the data, or the data is representative of the area, something like that. And also my point of the research is more large scale, like Gulf of Thailand or North Pacific Ocean, something like that. But as you know, the factories there, of course, we should clarify the pollution there. But I guess the factory doesn't want to reveal or show the data because it affects their business. And to access the area, we definitely need support from the government or local people or other public dignitaries. So if we can collect the data and we can have a collaboration around the area, it will be perfect. But I don't want to push the people to show their data. So maybe, Thailand needs more leadership about the topic. Maybe. I'm sorry, I can't say. Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
Technical question. So, your question is why we chose the Sishan Island instead of the.
I'm saying that you have only Sishan site.
Yeah.
Why don't you have another site?
Exactly. So I would say we just started working here for almost 2 years. So first time that we have some collaboration with the Kyushu University. The Sishan Island is the place that we can access easily. then we can collect some sample. I would say this is honestly. And, but we consider another site, yes, of course, at the EBC site, right? The thing is, right now we plan to do the survey in the Chapia River too. So we plan to do so many places, but as you see, we have 3 women. So we have to, like plan carefully what is our priority and what is the accessibility that we can shoot off of this time.
Thank you, Professor Nagano, for your wonderful presentation. Now we will have the last presentation in this session. Assistant Professor Irowan from Faculty of Engineering will give a presentation introducing the next generation of nuclear power point, small molecular high temperature gas-cooled reactors. Irowan has been assistant professor in Department of Applied Quantum Physics and Nuclear Engineering at Kyushu University since 2021. He has earned his PhD in Nuclear Engineering at Tokyo Institute of Technology in 2017. Prior to his current position, Irowan served as postdoctoral researcher at the Japan Atomic Energy Agency, JAEA. His primary research area focused on the development of the innovative nuclear systems aimed at addressing energy and environment challenges. This research is conducted using simulation code based on the theory of reactor physics. Currently, he is engaged in research related to neutronic and safety performance of the small high-temperature gas-cooled reactors. So, Dr. Irowan, please start your presentation.
Thank you for introducing myself. And yeah, you can read in from here. And also, my research area is related to the nuclear critical accident. In this case, is basically I'm doing something related to the Fukushima accident. So what happened in the Fukushima is we know now there is a fuel debris which is the mean the mixture between the fuel and other materials like concrete and steel, and we have no idea about the material distribution, and somehow it's very difficult when later in the near future we will retrieve the material, the fuel debris from the core. There is a probability that there is another criticality accident happen. So that's why we should consider about the criticality accident. So that's one of my research area. And also we are talking about the innovative nuclear reactor. This is for the next generation of the nuclear reactor. So I would like to introduce my department. I belong to the Department of Applied Quantum Physics and Nuclear Engineering. Basically, there are 4 research groups in this department, which is like nuclear energy system, applied nuclear physics, applied physics, and quantum science and material. And I belong to the nuclear energy system. In this group, in this research group, there are 5 subgroups. Advanced nuclear reactor, reactor safety analysis, severe nuclear accident, thermohydraulic, and also fusion reactor. So I basically belong to this advanced nuclear reactor. So in advanced nuclear reactor, we are doing something related to the next generation of nuclear reactor, nuclear power plant. So our building is located in this, exactly in this building. You call it West 2. And I'm not sure how many people from Kyushu University know that we, in our campus, we have the real size of fuel assembly, nuclear fuel assembly. So if you go to the West 4 building, first floor, you can see the real size of nuclear fuel assembly. But it's dummy fuel, not the real one. There is no uranium, of course. So I would like to introduce my presentation. As we know, we have like 17 the global goals for the sustainable development. And what I want to introduce like from my research is related to the nuclear engineering. So what kind of contribution for our department to support these goals is okay. I pick up like two goals, which is goals number 7 and 13, affordable clean energy and also for the climate change. And as we know, currently we are talking about the carbon net zero in 2050, especially in Japan. So that's our research is related to support this carbon net zero in 2050. So let's start from the global energy resource. As we know, currently in 2020, our energy is mostly come from the coal. It's about 35%. And the next one is from the natural gas. And then the rest is from the green energy, such as hydro, nuclear, solar, wind, and others. And from the viewpoint of oil, it's less than around only 2.5%. So nuclear energy now provide about 10% of our world electricity from about 440 power reactor and it's about 20% of the world low carbon electricity. So we can say like nuclear is the world's second largest source of low carbon power. And I think this is one of the promising solution to obtain the zero carbon emission. So what is the challenge from the viewpoint of the nuclear reactor is now we only have 436 reactors and then only 62 under construction. But on the other hand, we have like 214 reactor was shut down. So it's challenging because we need more power plants. On the other hand, we need to speed up the construction time. Maybe to build one nuclear power plant, you need to take about at least 8 to 10 years to build one nuclear power plant. So it takes time. So then I would like to introduce about the technology of the nuclear power plant. It starts from 1950. We call it as generation 1. So this is the prototypes. So in this era, and in that era, like we introduced many kinds of the nuclear power plant. So then 20 years later, in 1970, we decide for the next generation 2, we decide from the viewpoint of the economical, there is only one commercial nuclear power plant, which is like light water reactor, which is mostly 70% in about 90% in our commercial nuclear power plant is basically come from the PWR and BWR. However, in this generation 2, it's kind of the large scale nuclear power plant, which has the energy around 600 megawatt to 1000 megawatt. That's why it's very big, very large power. So it consume a lot of time and also it consume a lot of money to build one nuclear power plant. That's why in the next generation, which is like in generation 3, we call it as the evolutionary design. So basically, this is almost similar with the generation 2, but we improve the safety and also we introduce the SMR, the small modular reactor. We are thinking how if we reduce the thermal power, but later we build it as a modular, so we can save the capital cost and we can also save the construction time. And then, as you can see in this figure, around 60% of our current nuclear reactor have the operational age of more than 31 years. So it means like in the next 20 or 30 years later, all of the reactor will be shut down or decommissioned. So we need to build the new reactor. in that case, we have to select which kind of reactor should we build for the future. Is generation 2, generation 3, or the generation 4. So in the international forum, they decide there are 6 types of the generation 4 nuclear power plant, and one of them is the very high temperature reactor, then molten salt reactor, sodium cooled fast reactor, supercritical, and gas cooled fast reactor and liquid cooled fast reactor. From these 6 generation 4 nuclear power plant, in this world currently, only the very high temperature reactor is available. One is in Japan and one is in China. So I would like to introduce the high temperature gas cooled reactor built in Japan in around 1980s. This is the research reactor, which the main objective is not only for producing the electricity, but also to use the high temperature from the outlet of the outlet coolant to use the high outlet temperature for the hydrogen production. So we would like to in Japan itself, this reactor, the main purpose is not for electricity, but for hydrogen production. So I would like to introduce what is the STGR, or high temperature gas cooled reactor. This is like relatively different with our current commercial nuclear power plant. And in this case, we have the very small fuel. We call it a spotted fuel particle, and with the diameter is only less than 1 millimeter, so it's very small. And the uranium itself is here, and the diameter is around 0.6 millimeter, so it's very, very small fuel. And then we have the helium gas as a coolant. So in case of light water reactor, we use water as a coolant. But for this STGR, we introduce the helium gas as a coolant. So the benefit is there's no phase change. So no chemical interaction between the coolant and fuels or other structural materials. And another benefit of using this small coated fuel particle, it can retain the radioactive material up to 1,600 degrees Celsius. And then most of the core is made by the graphite. So because of this core structure is made by the graphite, so graphite has the large heat capacity, and it also had the high heat resistance up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. Therefore, theoretically, there is no hydrogen explosion produced, and also there is no fission product released to the environment in case there's an accident occur. And also, it's also offer a low amount of radioactive waste due to the high efficiency of the fuel. So I will skip this one. This is just the experimental result. So why, even though this fuel is very small, but it's very powerful because it can retain up to around 2,200 degrees Celsius. But for the safety limit, for the safety reason, we limit the temperature around 1,600 degrees Celsius. So this is the comparison, inherent safety comparison between the STGR and the light water reactor. So in case of the STGR, no immediate accident management is necessary due to this. When there is the loss of coolant accident, it means like no coolant in the reactor, the temperature, the maximum temperature still below the safety limit. However, in case of the light water reactor, when there is loss of coolant accident, the temperature increased significantly. And then, because of we use helium gas as a coolant, so there is no probability that the hydrogen gas can be produced, like in case of the Fukushima accident. And also from the when we introduce the coated fuel particle, even this fuel is very small, but there's no fuel melting in case of the accident. And in Japan itself, due to the domestic production, the factory, we decided to use like the maximum burn up is around 90 gigawatt per ton. So it's mean like but if we can use high burn up, it mean like we can increase the utilities of the fuel. So this is my last slide, and this is about the SDGR cogeneration roadmap in Japan. So it's divided into 3 phases. The first one is the development phase, and the next one is demonstration phase, and the last one is for introduction and expansion or cost reduction phase. So recently, as you know, like in Japan, after Fukushima, all of the nuclear power plant was shut down. But recently, it's in 2021, the STTR, the Nuclear Regulatory Authority, gave permission to restart the STTR. And this month, from March 1st until the end of this month, this reactor is being operated to conduct several safety measurements. And then later, for the development phase is until 2030. And then in 2040 is a demonstration to connect between the hydrogen plant and also the STTR reactor. And finally, in 2050 is kind of for cost reduction phase. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bergman. Since we are a little bit behind the schedule, maybe I'd like to take only one quick question from the floor. If you have any.
I'm the director of Jinsu Office. One quick question. You mentioned about you can make some module to make a smaller size. What is the size you are expecting your new electric power plant, nuclear power plant?
Size means
yes, facility size. Or you mentioned about you can make it module, right?
Yes, yes.
And you can combine many modules to make a one power plant.
Yes.
What is the new size?
So in case of the STGR, the reactor size is the diameter is less than 3 meter, and the core height is around 2.5 meter. So that's the small.
Also, that is a 1 unit.
1 unit of the reactor.
That is the size. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. So I guess now it's time for refreshing our brain, and we can have a coffee break until 4 p.m., 4 o'clock. So you can like enjoy the drinks and snacks outside this room. And one more thing that which is very, very important, that we have 6 students from 5 speakers, professor labs, who already prepare wonderful posters, and they're gonna provide additional information to their professors' oral presentation, or they can also introduce their own labs and their own research activities. So the poster are just in the coffee break venue. So please enjoy the drinks and snacks, and also enjoy the poster presentation, and the student from KYUDAI is waiting for us outside. So enjoy your break, and we come back here at 4 p.m. Thank you.
No, they need to take care of your babies.
Just a little bit of like waking up at night because she Maybe congratulate their family. We talk about that limit.
ちらっと見たかったです。
あ
ここに何があるか。
多分なんか
さっき拾ってなかったよね。
はい。もうここで喋ろうかと。
うん、そうですね。
はい。
僕もそうしよう。ありがとうございます。
なるほど。 これがなんか2つあるみたいです。これが、ポインターがこれで、これがスライドを送るやつだ。
あ、それはひっついてないんですね。
そうですか。じゃあ、
はい。
このリモコンで動かしていただくことになりますけれども、さっき見たらちょっとなんで進行が届かない場合があるようなので、その時先生、私にちょっとサインをください。私が手動でちょっと移しますので。はい。
先生、ちょっとスライド動かしていただ
はい、はい。
ちょっと待ってください。はい。もう一度、はい。すみません、はい。
ああ、大丈夫。
はい。はい。ありがとうございます。丸山先生。
はい、はい。
じゃあ、これ、すみません。これちょっと先ほど先生言差し替えしたものだと思いますけれども、合ってるかどうかちょっと。
大丈夫と思います。そんなに変わってないので、はい。
そうですか。
はい、ありがとうございます。動かして。はい。あ、大丈夫です。
よろしいでしょうか。
はい。
はい。大丈夫でしょうか。
大丈夫です。はい。
本当に動かない場合には私
はい。
サインください。
はい。
はい。
Hi, welcome back. Let me start the second session of today's symposium. The second session is entitled Science and Agriculture. First, I would like to invite Associate Professor Munetoshi Maruyama from Kyushu University Museum to give the speech, Finding New Species of Beetles in Ant Nests. Dr. Munetoshi Maruyama is an Associate Professor at the Kyushu University Museum, specializing in the taxonomy of beetles, especially those living in ant nests. He conducted research in tropical regions worldwide, including Thailand. In addition to his research, he untitled museum specimens for exhibitions, make media appearances, and engaged in insect outreach and education. Today, he will be presenting some of his research findings from his studies conducted in Thailand. Dr. Maruyama, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for this great opportunity. Today, I'd like to present my research about insects under the title, Finding New Species of Beetles from Ant Nests. My study is very simple and very basic in science, unlike other presentations of today. To start, その方が、すみません。To start, let me show you a photo of my research. This captures the observations of ant trade. I conduct such studies in tropical regions worldwide, mainly Asia and Africa. Based on the specimens collected during such investigations, I study biodiversity and evolution of beetles living with ants. I collect insects for study, not for eating. Before delving into the main topic, allow me to introduce myself. I am an associate professor at the Kyushu University Museum in Hakozaki Satellite. I manage animal specimens, primarily focusing on insects, and instruct students in the systematics of beetles. We have 4 million specimens, and it's the largest collection in Japan. Additionally, using a part of our collection, we conduct insect exhibition annually. Outreach and education about insects is a significant aspect of my work. Furthermore, I engage in activities such as answering children's insect-related questions on radio and at events. In Japan, many children show interest in insects, and during the summer, they often catch cicadas and beetles. Additionally, insects as familiar creatures served as excellent tools for children to learn biodiversity and environmental issues. I also write guidebooks and books related about insects. This is also one of my important activities for outreach and education. Now, let's get into the main topic. From my findings in Thailand, can you guess what insect is in this pot? Does it look like ant? In fact, it's beetle. Specifically, a member of the Myrmecophilus low beetles. This is my area of expertise. At this point, you may encounter two unfamiliar words, Myrmecophiles and low beetle. Let me explain the background of my research through these two terms, Myrmecophilus and low beetles. First, what is Myrmecophilia? It refers to a lifestyle where an organism depends partially or entirely on ant societies during its life cycle. In simpler terms, it is symbiosis with ants. This phenomenon has evolved in insects many times. These are some examples: crickets, butterflies, and flies. They primarily inhabit in ant nests in their larval stage. These are Japanese species, but similar species are also found in Thailand. Many of you might be curious about this phenomenon. Why do other insects inhabit ant nests? Firstly, ants produce formic acid or possess venomous stings, making them less prone to predators. Ant nests also provide rich source of nutriments. Secondly, how do these insects live in ant nests? Most ants have poor eyesight and nests are dark. Ants communicate using chemical sound and touch. Therefore, these insects mimic chemical cues, sounds, and physical features such as body surface structures. Now, what are low beetle? They belong to the family Staphylinidae. They have small forewings and exposed abdomen, mostly soil dwellers. Body length is 3 to 10 millimeters in average, and approximately 60,000 known species worldwide. This is world's largest animal groups. On the right, it is a typical normal beetle, while on the left, it's a low beetle. As you can see, there is a significant visual difference, and low beetles stand out from typical beetles at first glance. Moreover, when low beetles take flight, they extend hind wings, as shown on the right, allowing them to fly. They can fly. And folding mechanisms of wing is remarkably clever, and research being conducted for applications such as artificial satellite solar panels. While many are free-living, there are also many myrmecophilous species. Their relationships with ants vary significantly, and their morphologies are highly diverse. These low beetles are my primary focus, but also I study various groups of beetles. Why do I study these beetles? Firstly, due to biological interest in behavior, phylogeny, and morphology. Secondly, there are still many undiscovered species. Biodiversity of this beetle family in Asian tropics holds great potential. These insects typically exhibit high phosphospecificity, forming relationships with specific ant species. In Asia, with its diverse different ant species and biomass, there is a potential for high myrmecophilous beetle diversity. The Asian tropics are blue ocean in this field, or actually green forest. However, what captivates me most about these insects is their beauty. Many species have specialized morphology for symbiosis with ants, and their unique appearance are truly enchanting for me. Today, I introduce some results of my study in Thailand. Before delving further, let me introduce my significant collaborators. Dr. Sachu Wong, a researcher with PhD from Kyushu University, and Dr. Sashton, my friend since my youth. With their assistance, I conducted many research in various national parks across Thailand. This has been valuable experience in my life. While I conducted my research worldwide, Thailand has been my most frequently visited country. My initial study was at KYUDAI National Park. This is a very famous, renowned park with abundance of animals, including insects. I spent 3 weeks here 17 years ago, and 10 years ago I came here again. During this time, Dr. Sachu Wong Watana-san studied beetles living in soil. And we investigated insects in symbiosis with ant nests. Our target was these army ants. These ants hunt and eat other ants. Also, various myrmecophilous insects were found with these ants. They had not been studied in Thailand. And as expected, we discovered various previously unknown rock beetles from the nests. Some are very strange, like this. Subsequently, we published a paper describing 2 new genera and 3 new species of rock beetles. Their peculiar appearance are noteworthy, especially considering novelty of new genera in Thailand. And this kind of ant-shaped species are my current focus. After many years, I studied molecular phylogenetics of ant-shaped rock beetles of the world, including some specimens from KYUDAI. This study showed ant-shaped species evolved many times in rock beetles. We also found various new species in KYUDAI, such as this pouching beetle found in ant nests. While all species in this group are known to be symbiotically associated with ants, but they are rare and challenging to find. So this is very rare opportunity. This species, found alongside various Southeast Asian species, was named Pausus shamensis, meaning Thailand. Additionally, larvae found during the same period was remarkable discovery. We published a paper on their behavior and morphology, revealing their ability to produce liquid preferred by ants. From termite nests, we found small rock beetles about 2 millimeters. Various rock beetles inhabit also in termite nests, not just ant nests. These are also described as new species. Next, let me introduce Ken Kachan National Park, located near the border with Myanmar, a remote area with the presence of many tigers. It's one of my favorite research sites, and I hope to return. Here we set up various traps, collecting numerous new beetle species. One of the most striking discovery was pouching beetle found using light traps. While it is undoubtedly associated with ants, but nature of its relationship remain unknown. This is very rare and beautiful species. On another occasion, we found scallop beetle larvae in elephant dung. However, they were not dung beetle, but flower beetle larvae. Subsequently, this flower beetle emerged. The discovery of larvae feeding on elephant dung was the first discovery. However, ecology of the adults had been unknown. Surprisingly, these adults are also found in weaver ant nests. In other words, this species has a complicated life cycle. The larvae feed on elephant dung, while the adults live with ants. This unique lifestyle was confirmed also in other areas of Thailand. Lastly, I will share insights from Doi Steppe in northern Thailand. I have visited here several times, finding many ant nests right in front of the lodge, leading discovery of new species. One of the most surprising beetle was this tiny one from an ant nest with unusual shape. After detailed examination, we identified it as a new species of the genus, known to be parasitizing beehives. This is the first discovery of this kind of beetle from ant nest. In honor of Dr. Watana's contributions to our research, we named it Watanai. Thank you for your attention. My research may not immediately seem practical, but its significance lies in fostering an understanding of biodiversity. In Thailand, deforestation is a pressing issue, leading to a decline in insect and other animal populations. Every insect plays a crucial role within ecosystem, and their importance cannot be estimated. I aim to shed light on the diversity and wonder of insects in Thailand, hoping to highlight their significance in the ecosystem. Furthermore, I hope to discover many more new species through ongoing investigations in Thailand with Thai researchers. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Professor Tanuyama, for your interesting talk and sharing us those wonderful photo of insects. I think we can have time for one quick question. Anybody like to take it?
Thank you very much. Very interesting talk. I have one quick question. I learned there are many species. There are many appearances in the shape and appearance. So why you can say this is beetle? Not what is the common feature of
yes, common feature of beetle is very hardened forewing. All beetles have like turtle shell of hard forewing. This is the important feature of it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Maybe we can visit the museum for next time when we visit Fukuoka. Okay, so let's move to the second speaker of the second session. I'd like to introduce Associate Professor Takashi Sendo from Faculty of Agriculture, who will give a talk entitled Microbial Peptides and Bacterial Synthesis Produced by Lactic Acid Bacteria, from screening to application. Dr. Takashi Sendo is an associate professor at the Laboratory of Microbial Technology, Division of Systems, Bioengineering, Department of Bioscience, Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture, Graduate School, Kyushu University. He received his PhD from Kyushu University in 2004. After 2-year postdoctoral study, he became assistant professor in the same laboratory in 2006. Then he was promoted to associate professor in 2020. His research focuses on the utilization of beneficial microbes and their products, especially on antimicrobial peptides and bacteriocins produced by lactic acid bacteria. He's studying various bacteriocins produced by lactic acid bacteria for structure, biosynthesis, action mechanisms, and application. So Professor Sendo, please start your presentation.
Thank you very much for your introduction. So I'm Takeshi Sendo from Laboratory of Microbial Technology, Faculty of Agriculture. So first, I'd like to thank all organizers for providing us this opportunity. So my talk is about antimicrobial peptides bacteriocins produced by lactic acid bacteria. So this shows contents of my talk. So first, I give you a short introduction of lactic acid bacteria and their bacteriocins. And then I show some results in screening for novel lactic acid bacteria bacteriocins from Thai isolation sources. And then in the final part, I show some examples of applications of Thai isolates to food preservatives and our trial of niacin to oral care. So first is about lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria are bacteria that can produce considerable amount of lactic acid from sugar. So they can be isolated from nutritionally rich places, including our intestine and some kinds of food products. So they are now well known to improve our intestinal environment as a probiotics that have a very beneficial health promotion functions. And some kinds of lactic acid bacteria are known to be involved in making various kinds of fermented foods. So lactic acid bacteria contributes to enrichment of taste and flavor of food and to preservation by producing antimicrobial substances such as lactic acid and bacteriocins. The bacteriocins from lactic acid bacteria are ribosomally synthesized antimicrobial peptides and proteins. So they have these good properties. So they are all appropriate to be utilized as food preservatives. Actually, the best studied bacteriocin, lysine A, this one, has been utilized as a food preservative in more than 50 countries, including Japan and Thailand. So based on their safety, so the application is now extending to non-food purposes. So for further applications, we are trying to discover novel bacteriocins with better properties going lysine. And then we have various bacteriocins. We can select proper bacteriocins for each purpose. And also, we are trying to elucidate their biosynthesis mechanisms for their efficient production and our efficient use, and for further improving their activity by changing their structure. So to discover novel bacteriocins, their isolation sources are very, very important. From the new sources, we can find new lactic acid bacteria and new bacteriocins. So until now, so many bacteriocins have been reported from fermented foods in Europe. But on the other hand, our Asian country have various different fermented foods. So Thai traditional fermented foods are also attractive sources for novel bacteriocin producing lactic acid bacteria, such as fermented fish, fermented pork. So this shows the steps to identify novel bacteriocins from lactic acid bacteria. So lactic acid bacteria can be isolated through enrichment culture and plating, and they isolate tested for their antimicrobial activity. Then their antimicrobial substances are purified and analyzed for their structure. So as a result, we got various bacteriocin producing lactic acid bacteria, as shown here, and marked with green colors. They were reported as novel bacteriocins. So among them, so blue one, so they were obtained from Thai isolation sources. So I show some more details of some samples. So first example is Enterococcus faecium NKL53 strain. This was isolated from fermented fish bladder. So this bacteria can produce 5 different bacteriocin peptides. So this is very unique properties among bacteriocin producers. So then we analyzed their structure. So we determined the structure sequence of these 5 bacteriocin peptides and termed them enterocin NKR53. So among them, so enterocin NKR53B has very unique structure, head to tail circular structure. So we further analyzed this structure, and So we found this circular bacteriocin has a global structure consisting of 4 alpha helices. So due to this rigid structure, it has high activity and high stability. But until now, we have not yet known this biosynthetic mechanism, especially on the cyclization process. Now we are trying to clarify this biosynthetic mechanism. And regarding other 4 peptides, so we found this protein, NQT, a transporter protein, has an important role for their production. So it can process and secrete these 4 peptides. Then, so we further analyzed characterize this protein. So we found this NQT transporter protein can process and secrete other bacteriocins produced by other strain of bacteria. So now we are trying to apply this protein for production of newly designed structurally modified peptide. So we are now developing the system. So this is the second example of new bacteriocin termed enterocin W. This is produced by Enterococcus faecalis in Gale-4 strain. This is also isolated from fermented fish. So this has a very unique structure, monosulfide bond, and this bacteriocin consists of 2 peptides, and they have synergistic activity. And another example is galbicin Q. This is produced by Lactococcus galbiae. This was isolated from NAM, Thai fermented pork sausage. This bacteriocin is active against NAM spoiling bacteria, including monocytogenes, Listeria monocytogenes. So recently we found the production of galbicin Q is widely spread among these species. So our Thai collaborators found more bacteriocin producers, and they are evaluated for application. So among them, so these 2 strains produce same bacteriocin, pediocin PA1. This is not new bacteriocin, but this is important because it has very high activity against one of the most important food pathogen, Listeria monocytogenes. So our Thai collaborators applied them to nano-fermentation and food packaging system. This is the structure of pediocin PA1. It has higher activity against Listeria monocytogenes than niacin. And this was produced by NAM origin Pediococcus pentacellus strains. So this is one example of its application. So with pediocin producing lactic acid bacteria, so this addition can reduce dramatically the number of the another food poisoning bacterium, Salmonella annatum. So this effect is larger than the addition of non-bacterials producing lactic acid bacteria. So this is another example, the effect of pediocin PA1 coated film on Listeria monocytogenes. So here, this film was tested, tested for the reduction of Listeria monocytogenes on pork meat surface. And as shown here, this film can reduce and keep whole population of Listeria counts during for 2 weeks. And next is our results. So one of our collaborator of a startup company tried to apply lysine A to non-food applications to edible oral care agents. So bacteriocin has various advantages for non-food applications. The important thing is that they are high safety. So based on high safety, so we try to apply lysine A, one of the food preservative, to oral care agents. So activity of lysine A is limited within gram-positive bacteria, but we found with other edible materials such as apricot extract and the kind of essential oil, the activity spectrum can be extended to gram-negative and yeast. So using this formulation, so we developed the commercial product, oral piece, edible oral care agents containing lysine A. It consists only of natural and edible materials, also other than antimicrobial components, and that means it is harmless even accidental ingestion, especially for physically challenged people, the elderly, and the children. And it is good also for mountain climbing. It is also space flight in the situation when we have to save water. So recently, this product was selected as an onboard product on International Space Station. So this product can save water and can contribute to improving the life in the space station. Then, yeah, actually, so in the last year, astronaut Dr. Koichi Wakata, so our Kyushu University graduate tested this product on the space station, his last flight. So the movie is for the trial is available on the JAXA channel. So if you're interested, so please see this site. And my student had some samples, so you can try. So this is conclusion. So bacteriocins from lactic acid bacteria are eco-friendly antimicrobials, so no residue in nature. And Thai traditional fermented foods are very, very good sources for new bacteriocins. So for better microbial control, so we are continuing to discovering new bacteriocins. So I'd like to thank all Thai collaborators. We have so many collaborators. Thank you very much. And also I thank the members of Oral Peace Project and the Laboratory of Microbial Technology. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Do you have any questions?
I am from Kyushu University, Mr. Once again. I am really interested about the structure identification of these compounds. How are you doing this? What type of cutting edge technology are you using?
So first we use mass spectrometry so to determine the molecular weight and the part of the amino acid sequence. And then we also use protein sequencer. It gives us the sequence of amino acid. And then finally we use genomic analysis. So this kind of peptides are encoded on the genome, DNA. So they have genes. So from the gene sequence, we can know the whole sequence, whole structure of the peptide.
Oh, I see. Thank you. I think it looks very hard. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question about street food in Thailand. Along the street, there are many shops selling food without refrigerator. And I know they use lots of nampla. Nampla contains many antibiotics materials. That's why
I'm not sure, but I suppose naphtha also contains salt. Salt has also antimicrobial effect. And I'm not sure it contains some other products, but it is fermented product, so I think some kinds of micro produce something to improve the of course taste and flavor, and something contribute to preservation. I hope. And in those cases, we can use these kinds of antimicrobial products.
Can I ask one more question? Just wondering about the producing bacteria, because this protein antimicrobial peptide to outside the cell, how the producing cell resistant to the protein they produce.
You mean the bacteriocin producers have resistant to?
Yeah, and I understand that this antimicrobial peptide usually form a pore. How the producing cell are resistant to.
Yeah, producers strain themselves have the immunity system against their own bacteriocins. So they can protect their own bacteriocins. Okay, you understand? They have special system to protect their own bacteriocins.
Thank you, Professor Dendo. Now we will have a last presentation in the whole symposium. Assistant Professor Kyushu from the Faculty of Science will give a speech entitled Moisture Sensitive Chemical Reactions and Airless Feed Salts. Dr. Kohei Torikai received his bachelor, master, and PhD degrees in Osaka University. After working at University of Tokyo as a JSPS Fellow PD, as well as at the University of Shizuoka as a research associate, he was appointed as a senior assistant professor in the synthetic organic chemistry, natural products chemistry, and bioorganic chemistry. He received many esteemed awards such as Innovative Research Award for Young Scientist Award in Natural Product Chemistry, and Wako Pure Chemical Industry Award in Synthetic Organic Chemistry, Japan. Professor Torikai, please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for your kind introduction. And first of all, thank you very much for organizers, especially Sen Sensei and also Lee Sensei and Shimi Sensei also. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm a kind of an organic chemist, so I'm going to talk about my research and everyday research. I'm going to talk today. Sorry, just a moment, please. Oh, okay. So in our lab now, our target compound is sugar. And especially we are synthesizing a glycan, which is a chain composed of a sugar unit. So please consider this red one as a sugar unit, and the blue one is also. And we are trying to connect this red one and blue one in the proper way. So yeah, I think there were some participants or many participants who are allergic to the chemical structures. So today I'm not gonna talk about the chemical structures, but please just like having a very vague image. Yeah, we are trying to connect this bond, right? And then if a target compound is this one, but if we don't control the the conditions, sometimes this type of byproducts are formed. Sometimes our target is an upper one, but the bond is in a lower one. Sometimes this has an only OH here, or here now we are trying to connect the red one and the blue one, but red. Something we should avoid these stuff in the chemical synthesis. Okay, so in the glycans function, but if we can make a proper bond, then our target glycan have a very good functions like in the cell signaling, the proliferation, immune responses, etc. And for example, our blood types AB, ABO, blood types are recognized by the sugar structure like this. And the glycan has a medical potential like in the vaccine and or therapeutics. So it's a very important compound, but it is in a very highly polar, and it has a large variety. Therefore, it's very difficult to isolate from our body. So the chemical synthesis is one of the best ways to supply pure specimens for the functional sugar. Okay, but the most difficult thing for this kind of a chemical synthesis is in a dry and temperature conditions. They should be controlled very well. So I don't think that you can't imagine that humidity is 0%. So we should create this situation, and also we should conduct the reaction at -78 degree in some cases. So we should eliminate the moist air. So now here in Thailand, you feel a lot of moisture in the air, right? So, as I said before, we should create that humidity 0%. So usually usually we use a nitrogen atmosphere. So in this balloon, this is a reaction setup in our lab, and this balloon has an argon or nitrogen which has a 99.999% purity. So this gas doesn't have any moisture. Okay. So, and in addition, sometimes if we like to transfer a liquid into this system, we can use a syringe, jushan in Japanese. So we can use a nitrogen or argon atmosphere and the easy addition of a liquid, but it's relatively difficult to add a solid into this system. So look at this here. Here's a rubber stopper here, and to add the solid. For the liquid, this syringe can penetrate into this system, and then you can push the liquid into this system. But for the solid, you should get rid of this cap, and you should add the powder, for example. So for the introduction of the solid material, you can use shrink techniques as shown here. So from the one side to the other side, we can transfer the solid materials, but it's not so easy, and we need to connect the two shrink tubes, and these are made of glass, so it's not so flexible, and it's very difficult to handle. And also we have a vapor problem. So if this has some vaporizable solvent, then the vapor comes up, and this solid get wet, and then it's difficult to move for this case. So the solid addition under an inert atmosphere is not so easy. Okay, so this is our result without a care. Okay, so we are trying to connect compound 1 and 2. So just remember red one and blue one, and then in the last step we add the black one, and so our target is in a red, blue, black connected compound. Okay, so yeah, this reaction was first done in the entry 1, but the yield of 5, this one, is an only trace amount, means almost 0%. So in the entry 2, we changed the the conditions, but the yield is only 19%. So imagine like in only from 100 gram, you can get the only 19 gram. So it's not so good actually. So yeah, I asked the students who are doing this reaction actually. Yeah, Yohei Zhou is he was working on this project previously, and I asked him, how did you add your solid? Actually, these two materials are solid. Therefore, how did you add? So he answered me super quickly. I opened the top stopper, and super quickly he added. He told me, but super quickly it's a oh, okay, I understand, but your action is of course slower than the molecular movement, right? So you should do something to prevent the moisture contamination. Okay, so yeah, you can easily imagine. So if you put the chilled water bottle on around here, then on the surface you can see a lot of water, right? So yeah, this is I think that this water would be in a 4 degree or something, but we are conducting it at -78°C. So yeah, please look at these white stuff. They are frost. Yeah. So as you can see here, the moisture in the air will come into the flask. And as shown here, the inside of the flask, the water can be solid or liquid very easily. So we should avoid this situation. So as we expected, or as I expected, the main decomposition pathway was in hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means a decomposition by water. So the main reason would be water contamination caused by opening the cooled flask. So how can I solve this problem? This was our question to solve. Actually, one of the answer is to use a globe box. And this is the only universal solution, but it has a lot of disadvantage. Actually, advantage is perfectly oxygen and moisture free. So please look at this. This is called the glove box, and this box is filled with argon or nitrogen from the beginning. So inside is not the air. It's a nitrogen or argon. Therefore, it's perfect. But and it actually best for materials that cannot be weighed in the air. But the disadvantage is it's high cost. It costs more than $15,000 and very difficult to handle. So this is a rubber gloves, and through this glove we should put our arms inside, and then we will treat something in this box. So and also as shown here, it's in a space consuming. And the most difficult thing is temperature control. So we cannot put any cooler into this box. So yeah, actually there is a commercially available glove box which has a function of cooling, but it's so expensive. Therefore, we are looking for any items to add solid in our atmosphere. So I decided to invent a very simple funnel called the solid addition funnel. So the real picture is like this. And actually, in this case, this one is in a glass body, and this has a PTFE part, which can insert it to this glass body. And this PTFE part has a cavity here. So this cavity can catch the solid added from the top, and then this one can catch. And after turning this knob, the reagent would be inserted to the lower side. So by this solid addition funnel, it's in a small and simple, like in a two-way tap, and it's a chemical proof because this one is in a glass and also PTFE, which is in a very strong with the very acidic or basic compounds also. So and also it's not so expensive. It's only $150. So it's only 1/100th of a glove box. Okay. So here I will show you how to work. How the solid addition funnel works. So first we will put the addition funnel here, and then here's a reaction flask. And from the beginning, this flask is filled with nitrogen, like inert gas, like nitrogen. And then we will put the solid here and close with the septum cap. And now in this flask, it's nitrogen, but it's in this chamber, it's not the nitrogen atmosphere because it was open here. So first we will put the needle and suck up the air in this chamber, and then exchange the inert gas like nitrogen. So suck up the air, introduce the nitrogen. So and then the upper chamber is filled with nitrogen, and then we will turn this knob to add the solid into the reaction flask. So here we check the addition efficiency first. So addition efficiency is a very easy value. So the amount we added is A, and amount the dropped is B, and this is only the percentage of this one. So I don't explain the very in detail, but into any solid, it's more than 93% is introduced. So if we add the 100 gram, like in the 93 gram was dropped. I mean, oops. Okay, so here's the effect of our solid addition funnel. So we perform the same reaction, okay? Then the first and the second entry is shown before. So without using our solid addition funnel, the yield was only traced for 19%. So, but if in the entry 3, if we use the solid addition funnel, and then, sorry, just a little bit weak, I think. All right. Then the yield comes up to 37%, and in the entry 4 and 5, gradually by changing the condition slightly, the yield goes up to 47, and finally it becomes 64%. So 0 from 64. This is the effects of our addition funnel. And finally, we check the it's applicable to our synthesis of glycans. So in this case, first we tried to synthesize red, blue, and black sequence. So red, blue, black. It's beautifully synthesized in a 62% yield. And next case, red, blue, and green. And it's also beautifully synthesized in a 54%. So here finally, I give you some summary of our research. And the novel solid addition apparatus was developed and is now on sale as an airless speed tap from Asahi Glass Plant, a Japanese glassware company. And actually, this one was recently used in the by the research in Chulalongkorn University, and he sent us a video when they were using. Yeah, I didn't get the approval to show it in this conference, so I cannot show it. But I was so happy, and they're in their research also. Our solid addition panel is working so well. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, question from myself.
Question. Maybe I missed your first slide. So, what is the main purpose? You connected the black one and the red one into the black one and to the blue one.
In the first slide.
Yeah, maybe yeah, this one. Why do you need to?
Okay. So, in our body, for example, we have a lot of functional glycans. But if we let's imagine that that structure is like this. Okay, but still, it's difficult to isolate from our body. So we have to synthesize that. So we have a target structure, and we need to synthesize this structure, for example.
Yeah, why?
Because to know its function. So, or for example, if you have a knowledge that a type of glycan has good for your health, then we need to provide that because we are a chemist. So to provide that's important or the useful structure, we need to synthesize. Okay.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm a food scientist. I'm working with functional sugar, but from food. From
all right,
materials. Materials. So we try to have functional carbohydrate like inulin, beta-glucan that can stimulate the immune system, can regulate gut microbiota. But in your case, your functional sugar, the functional glucan, I think it has a different definition than mine. If we are missing some of the functional glucans in our body, it may lead to some diseases, if I understand correctly.
Yeah.
Is that right? Like, could you give some diseases that are linked with the malfunction of the body that cannot produce functional glucans?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't have a good example to tell you, but yeah, as I shown here, the immune system, we have a lot of important glycans. Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit far from the biology, so yeah, today I didn't talk about the my chemistry at all, but to be honest, yeah, it's a little bit difficult for me to answer it, but there are many, I guess.
So there are many that if our body somehow malfunction to produce functional glucans, it can lead to malfunction of immune responses. Okay, so it's not like dietary, but it's the function. Like for example, like enzymes. It's a protein in our body, and if enzyme malfunction, okay, then we need to supplement with something because that can lead to many diseases. So I think your glycan might be the same. That's what I'm trying to understand.
So, for example, in the cell surface, there are a lot of glycans, and in some diseases like flu, influenza, the virus is detecting that structure. Recognizing that structure, the structure of surface glycans. So it's very important to know the function of the glycans to create, for example, drug for the flu.
My question is about the theoretical yield of the reaction. You said at most maybe 60% or something. That's somebody may think it's low. So what is the theoretical yield of each reaction?
Thank you. Theoretical yield is always 100%. Yeah, always 100%.
My last question. You might have. Okay, I think thank you very much, Professor Tony.
Thank you so much.
So now it's come to the end of this symposium, and I'd like to ask Professor Shu Shimizu, the Vice President of Kyushu University, to deliver the closing remarks. Professor Shimizu, please.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for being with us until the end of this forum. Special thanks to the Kyushu University Thai Alumni Club, headed by Dr. Surin, and also the Kyushu University Alumni Association in Thailand, Japanese version, Gaokai, Ideguchi-san, headed by Ideguchi-san here. Yes, so as you see here, this forum is named KYUDAI Now. And for those who are not quite understand what the KYUDAI Now means, is that KYUDAI is the short name for the Kyushu University in Japanese. So the KYUDAI Now, aims to provide the updated information and research, or something like that, to the audience here. And so, as you heard, for all the afternoon, that we had a variety of lectures and presentations, from human sciences, food literacy, plastics and power plant, and the ants, and the bacteria, and the chemical reaction, and etc. So, I'm very happy. I myself, enjoyed all the presentation very much, and also I believe that many of you should have enjoyed, judging that we did have lots of, questions and discussions after each presentation. So, as a matter of the fact, we Kyushu University staff just presented did not know each other until yesterday, or precisely speaking, the day after yesterday. So at the first meeting during the night on Sunday, we introduced ourselves first, and we get know each other, and today we knew that what they are doing. And so this is quite beneficial and helpful for the Kyushu University itself to have this forum for us to know each other in Kyushu University and between among the Kyushu University staff. And also, this kind of multidisciplinary group should be, beneficial in terms that, for the most of the time, collaboration is just has been performed between just faculty, same faculty to faculty, faculty to engineering, engineering and medical to medical. But what we really want to do is to make a whole faculty members beyond the wall of each faculty to be united and want to act as a whole team member of the university. So we really want to continue this activity from now on. So let us meet next year, maybe around the same time in Bangkok. And following this forum, the delicious food is waiting for us to come down on the ground floor. So let's talk more for our friendship. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to thank you all for this afternoon. I hope you all enjoy the talks. So now I think it's time to move to the white room on the ground floor, and we can have a dinner reception, and we will see you there. Thank you very much.
Nice job. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See you.
Excuse me.
So we have 20 minutes to move down. Maybe get a little bit hurry up.
ズームも終了します。ズーム終了していいですよ。ライブ配信も終了します。
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、
ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございました。やっと終わった。
大丈夫ですか？
Oh, of course. Yeah, this one and this one. Thank you very much. It was very useful.